right. Oh my God. Yo, I have been a fan. So this is an honor for me to even speak with you.
Thank
So,
you. Thank
how
you
it
for
goes?
having me.
You're welcome. How it goes with me? I cuss, I drink, I talk shit to the chat, you know, um, and we just have a good ass fucking time. It's a conversation, and we just kicking it.
Okay.
All right. So introduce yourself. Tell everybody who you are, what genres or genre you write in, and anything you want them to know before we get started.
Okay, I'm author Natavia. I'm from the DMV. I write urban fiction, of course. I write urban paranormal. I write street lit, and I do a little urban romance here. Right.
Okay. So every storyteller has a moment where something inside of them shifts and the urge to create takes over. For you, what was the that moment? What pushed you from reader to writer, from dreamer to published author?
Well, I always wanted to be an author since I was like, I want to say 12.
Mm.
And I was a avid reader, back then the paperbacks. So
Mm-hmm.
my first girl was like Fly Girl. My first book was Fly Girl.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I think that's like just reading urban fiction. I fell in love with urban fiction, and it just pushed me to want to be an author. So I just started writing. I started writing like 14 though.
Mm.
Yeah.
So did your writing journey begin in the realm of urban fiction, street lit, or did paranormal and fantasy creep into your pages from the very beginning? Was there a moment when genres started to blend, or was it all just fluid from the jump?
It was street lit originally. It
Mm.
was street lit. It was street lit all day. That's the genre that's my favorite genre. And then eventually I just had a knack for paranormal as well. So I started to let me try this out. Let me just try and see. So it took off.
I mean, your street lit is good. Your urban fiction street lit is good,
Thank you.
but your paranormal,
It's
because
different.
Cruella Hoodville is that bitch.
Amen.
She is the. I don't give a fuck about no other character. When she got the singing in the blood, girl, that was a good ass book. I can read it over and over and over
Thank
and over.
you.
The word urban has been weaponized
Yes.
and redefined over time. When you choose to write urban fiction, street lit, urban fantasy, urban paranormal, what did that term mean to you? What did you want your characters and stories to say that the mainstream wasn't saying?
I want to say just the rawness of it.
Mm-hmm.
I like the raw tone of it, like how you talk to your homegirls from around the way, and I wanted that to keep that tone in my writing.
Mm-hmm.
I wanted it to be direct, and I wanted it to be raw.
So how do you get? I guess I'm gonna get to it later, but I really want to get so deep into your characters because you go step into so many mythologies, so many cultures, so many creatures, and it's just like you pushing a lot of barriers, and I'm just like, damn, okay, you bitches follow suit, do it too. So, urban fiction is rooted in survival, truth, grit, and love, all elements of Black life and legacy. How did these elements shape your early work, and how do they still show up today, even in your paranormal storytelling?
Honestly, it's a lot. It's so you mean like to incorporate the urban? I know I don't want to go too deep into it because I don't have much time yet, but I'm gonna just
You
say,
got all day with me.
oh, okay, cool. So I'm gonna say what really did it for me was, how we have a lot of paranormal stories that don't represent us, right? And then you also know how there's a lot of us that don't take chances in reading outside of a certain genre, right?
Yep.
So I'm trying to stay true to it. I want to keep the urban tone that will that will attract the readers that already read my work. But I also want to give it paranormal. I want to put a paranormal twist in it, so it won't go too far off. You know, so I'm just like, if I keep the urban tone, and if I mix it with some paranormal, like, you know, it won't be too bad. So
Yeah. But I always say that when I hear Black authors say, "Oh, I only write street lit or urban fiction, and I cannot write paranormal because it's too hard," I said, "Why not? Why not add a little of the Black culture as far as the mythology just in your street lit, in your paranormal? Bam, you got a paranormal."
Right, and then it's not enough that represent us. You know, like, you know, you have your Harry Potter books, you have your Twilight books, but they don't represent us. You know.
I think people are thinking linear and one dimensional, and they're not looking 3-dimensional or 4-dimensional when it comes to building the worlds. And when you say building worlds, the first thing they think fantasy.
Right.
They don't think paranormal, really. They honestly think fantasy.
And I think a flaw that a lot of us have is kind of like, how can paranormal be urban, or how can it be, you know, Black? You know, because it's not much representation of it. So when you think of paranormal, you automatically think of slim blonde haired girl. You know, you automatically don't think of us. So it's kind of, you're not used to seeing it. So it's like, how can paranormal be Black? But we have a lot of mythology.
Oh yes.
We have a rich background, rich culture. You just gotta research it. But our background is rich.
It really is. And I think people only see the African side of it.
Right.
They don't see the African American side of it. They don't see the Afro Indigenous side of it.
Right.
They only see the African ancestry. Right. So they only go to like those type of gods. They'll go to Shango and all them for inspiration. When we have Papa Legba, we have Robert Johnson, The Crossroads, which was Sinners. You know what I'm saying? So we have those things. I think people don't want to do the work because they're lazy.
Yeah, it's like you just gotta research, and you know, fiction is not meant to be realistic anyway. So you can come up with your own background. That is true. Your own background, you know, research a little bit, but then you still have your own background. It doesn't have to be realistic.
Yeah, I mean, I think a lot of time people be trying to, because they see the white authors, they do the Zeus and Poseidon and Hera and all them. So they're like, oh, it got to be equivalent to that god or that deity. But it don't. It don't really.
That's not. I made a post about that. I said our paranormal is not going to be the same as their paranormal because our culture is different. Our backgrounds they're different.
Yeah, I think competing in those type of paranormals is not the same because their paranormal is directly it's whitewash. It's literally whitewash. It's not taken away from it because I do like J.R. Ward. Right. But it's whitewash. Right. Compared to a Black paranormal, a Black fantasy, a Black supernatural book, it's not going to be. It's got a different type of flavor to it.
Yeah, and it got a different tone to it too. Mm-hmm. It's not going to be the same.
Let me ask you. So, fantasy, especially paranormal fantasy, has been a space heavily dominated by whiteness, even as it borrows from cultures it refuses to center. What was the catalyst that made you say Blackness belongs in this space and I'm going to write us into it?
What made me say, you know, honestly, I didn't take it serious at first. You know, I was like, you know what, I'm going to do Beauty to Its Beast. That's my first paranormal. Mm-hmm. And I was like, I'm going to do it, but I already had a feeling I was going to get a lot of backlash. So I'm just like, let me just test the waters a little bit. You know, let me just see. And I didn't take it serious at first, but it was something that I wanted to do, but I just know that it was just going to, oh, she copied Twilight or she did this and she did that. But right. So I'm like, let me just put this out. It was a Halloween book, right? And, you
Mm-hmm.
know, it was just a Halloween story that I happened that I just wanted to drop. And I
Mm-hmm.
just wanted to drop it and then move on. But then as I started writing it and getting into it, and you know, I did a lot of research for this.
Yeah.
So I'm like, you know what? I like this. I
Mm.
like this. And I fell in love with it.
Mm.
But it was just something that I wanted to do because you know I love paranormal. Like you know, my
Mm-hmm.
one of my favorite movies is Vampire in Brooklyn. You know, it's a
Ooh.
vampire story, and it has the culture in it. You
It
know,
did. It did.
so I'm like, there's no other story like that.
Mm. Yeah,
There's
that's
no other
true.
story. Queen of the Dam, that don't count. What's the Blade? That doesn't really count because you know, but
It
Vampire in
was
Brooklyn, I feel like that was the closest to
in
urban.
Blackula.
We were gonna, well, yeah, Blackula.
Yeah.
I forgot
So
about Blackula.
how do you intentionally weave Black culture, ancestral memory, spiritual traditions, and everyday nuance into your speculative and paranormal work? Are there rituals that you research, languages or cultural nods you pull from your own life or family?
You know what? I just pulled it from my imagination, my escape.
Mm,
That's it. Like I always just picture a fantasy world, and I just pull it from there. Like you know, how you just have that escape. Like, oh, I
yeah.
just see this, or this is where I would want to be. This is where I would want to go. Like if this world existed, I would want to. You know, so I pull it from my imagination.
Because I'm
Just
trying to be wherever Brick is. I'm trying. I'm trying to be wherever Brick is. I don't too much care. That's it.
I don't blame you.
I'm just saying. Um, you've shown bravery in branching out to including non-black mythologies like Native American legends in your work. How do you approach that with respect and accuracy? What does your research process look like when you write stories that are strictly rooted in black culture, but now rooted in a different culture?
I research. You know,
Mm,
I'm not gonna lie. I research African mythology.
mm-hmm,
And I research you know, what stories were brought over here through
mm-hmm.
slavery, because you know a lot of those stories are, you know, they come from our ancestors. So
Yeah,
I research a lot of that. I research a lot of African history
yeah.
and the
So
beliefs that they used to share during like slavery, like you know, like just
yeah.
different things. But that's what I research.
There's always tension between representation and appropriation, especially when it comes to paranormal. But why? I do not know. How do you draw that line in your own creative work, and how do you navigate readers' responses when you step outside of cultural bounds?
When I step out of cultural bounds,
Yeah, like doing like I don't want to say the name wrong.
what's
Is
just
Jasper Jasora
yeah.
because they had like the indigenous elements to it.
Right. It also has like a West African
Yeah.
background too.
So how do you make sure that it never steps out of a bounds that make it uncomfortable for you or the reader, even though it's fiction? Because you know some of these bitches be getting real sensitive.
They do. But you know what? I don't care about that.
Yep.
I never cared about that.
Well.
Well, I don't care. Like, you know, because at the end of the day, there's always gonna be something to make somebody uncomfortable, you know.
Mm,
And my purpose for writing is just I really write for myself, and I always say I write for myself, and I share it with the world. So
mm,
I write how I feel, and I'm gonna share it. But if you don't like it, if it make you uncomfortable, I don't know what to say. But I don't write to, you know, I don't write to like, you know,
yeah.
anybody.
Okay. Shit. Ain't nothing wrong with that. Your stories don't just exist in the world, they create entire worlds. What does your world building process look like from the blank page to final chapter? Do you start with character, setting, theme, or magic systems?
I start with all three. Like
Mm,
I always try to. Well, so when I do my paranormal, I always try to start with like a backstory just to set the tone. You know, I like to start with a backstory. Like I don't know if you read Deep, for
mm-mm.
example. Okay,
That's
so
the mermaid.
yeah.
No, I haven't read that one.
So I started Deep off with like it was like the Atlantic slave trade, and the ship had sunk, and it's like water spirits or water fairies or whatever and
Mm-hmm.
came on the same ship and just things like that. So I always started like to set the tone for it, and then I start building my world from there.
Mm-hmm. Hmm. You,
So
but you.
it just depends. It really, but to be honest, it depends. Like it just depends. Like I feel like once I go to like the more magical creatures, is like I gotta try to picture it. Like right now, I got a furry book that I'm ready to drop, and I'm picturing like where would furries live? Like a nice, like a glitterly like forest or
Are we talking
something.
about Abiana?
Yes, Ebony.
Abania?
Yes.
I done came up with a different name for this bitch. You look in my head. That's the name I had. Because is she from? Hood? Corella Hoodville?
No, she's not. It's different. They different. They different furries.
Damn. I thought we was gonna go ahead and move on with the cancel.
Uh, no, it's a different story. It has no ties to Quella. They're different furries.
Okay. I kept butchering her name too. Yeah, I butcher every goddamn name. I'm sorry.
You sound traumatized by furries.
You have an unmatched eye for visuals. Your characters are fully imagined from their look to their energy. How do you build a character's physical and emotional identity before the story is fully written? Do those visuals evolve as you write?
Yes, I always be like they gonna look like us. That's all I need to go in with. They're gonna look like us.
They be looking good as fuck.
And I just take off. They're gonna look like us. They're gonna look like a little bit of me. They're gonna look like a little bit of some of my friends. They're gonna have different body types. They're gonna look like some of the women in my family.
Yeah.
A certain hair texture. Yeah, I just always go.
Shit. Your visuals, they be sexy as hell.
Thank
I don't
you.
know. I don't know whether I want to boink the fucking man or the fucking female or both. Shit.
Yeah, I try to, because like I don't know, but if you notice, like a lot of paranormals have like their characters have like a lot of European like beauty standards.
Right.
They don't really represent us. We come in different shades. We come in
Yeah.
our hair texture. We got different hair textures, so they don't really. I try to like have my people to say like she looked like me. I want to read that. I want to read a fairy with some locks.
Yeah. That motherfucker was fine. Fine as hell. So your world building isn't just imaginative, it's emotional because with books like Corella Hoodville, which gives us horror, healing, unhinged femininity, grief, and love, how do you emotionally recover after writing something that deep? Do you need space to recover? Because she went through that parental bullshit with her mom, her grandmother, and just herself in general. Even though I just, I wouldn't call it crazy. I'd say, hey.
So the thing is with Cruella, right? It was just one of those books where I put a spin on generational curses.
Mm-hmm.
You know how sometimes, growing up, just seeing it a lot, you see your parents or the women in your family or something, they try to live through you.
Mm-hmm.
So I just put a paranormal spin on it, but it's really about generational curses, and that's why her great grandmother was trying to like live through her, become her, because it's just like that's what a lot of Black girls had to go through growing up.
Facts.
You know,
Facts.
carrying on your family's trauma and things like that, and they putting those burdens on you. So I just put a paranormal spin on it, but that's what it really was about.
Okay. Hey, I thought it was funny as fuck when she was dancing around, basically singing "Ring Around the Rosie," nigga. Like,
You know what? I wanted to do a villain, because I was looking back because I'm at a point where I'm tired of writing about perfect characters.
mm-hmm.
Yeah. I get bored with that. I'm bored with that. I want to write about more so flawed, like flawed, And I wanted to do a villain, but I didn't want to push it to the edge where she was like hated, like, oh, I don't want to read this anymore because I can't stand her. Even a lot of readers, they feel that way. If they was like, oh, she's so mean, she's crazy, I don't like her. But with Cat reading, they was like, okay, I can see where this is going. But I just wanted to, like, I wanted to get on the bad side a little bit.
I liked her from the fucking beginning.
I thought she was a bad bitch.
Right. I liked her from the she didn't tolerate no bullshit.
Nah.
Even though when that nigga came in the store and tickled her kitty cat, you know what I'm saying, because he looked so fine, she still wasn't about to show him niggas slide up weird.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? She was that bitch. I don't know why y'all hated her.
I was trying to tell her, like, man, and then she could dress her ass off. She had that. She's just, I don't know. I'm like, I like this type of character. This is what I like, She showed up at your house. She got beef with you. She gonna pop up at your house, like
that part right there. The pop-ups. I love the pop-ups. And her uncle, especially her uncle, because that nigga was getting on my nerve.
Oh yeah,
he was getting on my nerve. Like, bitch, boy, move on.
She did him dirty.
He deserved it though. He deserved it. So Corella Hoodville is dark, bold, and fearless. It merges urban grit with paranormal horror, but also gives us a layered female protagonist. How do you balance gore and violence with softness, romance, and vulnerability in your characters?
You know what? To be honest, that was not even my intention.
That's what you did, though. That's what you did.
I don't. You know what? I take that back. I think I just wanted to just show like a softer side, but that wasn't really my intention. Like, I just really wanted to write her. So I wanted to write her as a villain, like just straight through. And sometimes, as a writer, you like start to feel sorry for the characters. And I know this sounds crazy, but you become attached to the characters, right?
Yeah.
I kind of started feeling sorry for her, so I said, let me soften her up a little bit. Let me just add this in there to make. But it wasn't my intention. Like, I was gonna ride that villain wave out till I couldn't ride it no more. Because I wanted her to be like a villain, like on some. Yeah, I'm gonna try to kill Trill too. Like,
I almost thought you was, man. I was like, don't do it, Miss Seeley. Don't do it. Because Trill, even though her and Trill, they were like yin and yang, them motherfuckers was too much alike. She was
they were
too much alike. Man, I have to say, yeah, that book, yo, you ain't got a hard covers, are you?
Yeah, I got some hard covers.
Okay. Because I gotta get mine. You played with creatures beyond the typical wolves and vampires. You did gargoyles. I've been asking everybody to do gargoyles. Y'all be sleeping on them. You did gargoyles.
They be sleeping on the gargoyles.
I know you hoes done watch Goliath. I know y'all watch Goliath. And y'all don't write nothing about gargoyles. Nothing. Damn, gargoyles about the blackest you gonna get.
Yeah.
Shit.
Yeah.
Gargoyles and orcs are black. Like, for real. So, All right, so you've written gargoyles, fairies, dark entities, mythic hybrid type creatures, almost. You want to say?
Um, I don't think I.
Well, I'll say the mermaids are.
Okay. Okay.
And what makes you reach for something new? Like you step outside of the normal paranormal vampire werewolf shifter shit. Is there a creature you're dying to write, but you haven't yet, but you are just hell bent on, I'm gonna get there? Or you haven't made it up yet?
It kind of is. And I kind of wrote about it. I did actually write about it before, but I just don't know. But it's a dragon. It's a dragon of some sorts, right? But a lot of people don't like the reptiles, so I'm just trying to. I think my thing is just trying to like put my Natavia touch on it to make it sexy.
Wait a minute. Who is these people? Y'all bitches better stop. Cause you're fucking up my shit.
But Deep does have a water dragon in there.
I like dragons. I like dragons of all kinds.
It's like it's like a water dragon.
Oh shit. So is that gonna be something you go rate? Like in totality, like a full length?
Yeah, I'm thinking about it. I'm a little nervous, but I think I'm gonna try one. I'm gonna try it one day.
Please. I've been asking for a Gargoyle Dragon Mafia book.
Really?
Hell yeah. Do you know that would slap?
But with Cruella, I introduced that Paragon Society thing. So that's gonna be like that. It's gonna be like that. Like just different creatures and different, like coming together on some rich. So I'm trying to prepare myself for that. So yeah,
I know that's gonna be good because
it's gonna be bomb.
Because them motherfuckers already got fucking hella issues.
Yeah, because we gotta get pre-story.
Child, wait a minute. Priest is the one with the fairy, right?
Yeah. He's
that whole situation. First, it's an age gap, right?
Mm-hmm. A little bit. He's 25 and she's 20.
Okay. And the way they situation is, they are toxic as fuck.
Yeah.
But I think it's gonna be funny as hell.
It is. Because it's I went very urban with Cruella. Like if you notice, like my other paranormal books, they're urban, but I feel like Cruella has that urban where it's like that. It's more urban than my other paranormal books.
If you took the mystical aspect out of it, it'll be an urban fiction book.
Correct. Like like just boss bitch.
Yeah.
Rich dude, with with his little street attitude, and it would be like your regular.
I know that those was gonna be so fucking good. So let's talk about the fairy book that you're gonna drop.
Oh yeah.
The fairy character in the upcoming book, is this story connected? Yeah, well, you said it's not.
It's not connected to anything.
Are we stepping into a brand new universe?
Yes.
And are you planning a full series with the council characters? You said you are, and you said priest, but you also have the other brother. I mean, the other one.
Who?
The one who's loving old girl from afar, his neighbor.
Oh yeah, his cover is in my is pinned to my page. So that's K-Law. So so it's okay. So priest, right? So priest got his cover pinned to my page as well, and then it's gonna be K-Law. So they gonna have their own situation. Like I had dropped a sneak peek to priest in my group, and it
go in your group.
It just goes. It's like It's like a backstory. How he became who he is and things like that. But is not connected to.
So what's her world? Because she looks like a warrior type bitch.
She's it's so you familiar with Baltimore, right?
With who?
Baltimore. You know how they call Baltimore Charm City, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I was just like, I'm gonna put like a little spin on that word Charm City. Because when you think of Charm City, you think of magic and you think of it's another it's so you have Baltimore and then you have this other rim that's on top of Baltimore and it's that's their Charm City. So, but it's like, yeah, so it's like, how you have the Stranger Things? You remember how they had like the upside down world?
Yes.
So that's pretty much how it is with this. But it's like Charm City. So like everything's like surrounded by Baltimore City. And it's like, it's a forest. It's like a magical forest. She lives with other fairies and she gets kidnapped. Yeah, by a warlock. And so that's when it starts to like get a little dark. So he kind of like, she starts off a little prissy, and then it's kind of like he turning her to that,
Because yo nasty shit be nastying.
I know.
You be having them fucking. It don't even be gentle. It be like.
I try to stay true to them. I try to stay true to their nature, though.
Yeah.
Like when they're beasts, I do like a lot of biting, and if they're like,
oh, Trill was knocking the lining out of her shit.
Yeah. Real bad.
He was knocking the lining out of it.
Real bad, like, yeah.
So you known for keeping readers on edge. Nothing in your books is ever what it seems, because what we thought Cruella was and her situation wasn't really what it was. It was more to the story. So how do you create those twists and reveals? Is it outlined from the beginning, or do the plot turns come naturally as the story develops?
Yes, I freestyle. Yeah, I'm a freestyle writer.
Okay.
So whatever comes to mind, that's just what it just takes me. Like, I know, like, so when I go into my books, I just know, like, I just have like, okay, this is what I'm gonna have in there. But I never know how it's gonna turn. Like, it surprises me sometimes. I never know. I just know I want to write about a fairy or this type of creature, and then I just write it, and then I never know how it's gonna turn out. Like, honestly, to be honest, Priest and Miss came out of nowhere.
Dumb crazy.
Came out of nowhere, but it's just that. And then I'm thinking, like, you know what, this will work because I already had the cover for Priest. Priest was gonna be a separate, and I already had the cover for He Comes at Night, which is the other homeboy. And I was just like, and I started thinking, I'm like, okay, I already got these covers, so maybe I can introduce them in Cruella. And then and give them their own story, but really, I wasn't going to do the Priest and the Miss. They just came out of nowhere.
Damn.
And stole the show.
They really did, because her little short ass and his old fucking I don't want to fuck with you, but then knocking the soul out of her ass through the meow meow. Boy.
Stalking her, like popping up everywhere. She could, like, just flying off the fucking sky. Like,
no. And just flying off the handle about everything.
Everything.
I said, for a motherfucker who don't want you, you sure this acting like a nigga who wants you.
Can you imagine trying to turn out with your homegirl and then you got this winged vampire, because he's a winged vampire.
Child.
You got this big ass winged vampire just coming up.
Child. Because I was like, why is he showing up and he literally just cussed this girl out, tore her a whole new asshole, and then he come up in the club like,
right, and then he cheating on her.
And then the girl, you know what? Let me not give away. But, boy, he is one of them characters that you hate. I can't say love to hate. I just hate him right now. I don't think
I'm on the fence about doing another book to deep. I'm on the fence. Somebody asked me if I could do the children's story, but I don't. I'm on the fence. I'm on the fence about deep three.
So there's paranormal, and then there's dark paranormal, which you do well.
I feel like all my paranormals have a dark. I feel like all of them are dark though. Like some of them have their funny moments. Like it's like different layers. I try to like give you like a variety of everything. You got your comedy. You have the sex, like the erotica. Then you have like the horror. Then you have the. It's just I try to do variety in all my books. So I feel like my paranormal does have like a lot of dark. Because Cruella of Hoodville was dark to me. Like,
oh yeah, that was dark. Definitely dark. You know, it's crazy. I always complain about dark romance, how it's so hard for me to read dark romance. For dark paranormal, I can read it with no problem. No fucking problem.
You know what? I think because when you read dark paranormal, it's kind of like it taps into that beastly nature. You know what I mean? Like that aggressive, that animalistic, raw nature. Whereas me personally, I can't read dark romances neither. You know, but I can read dark paranormal. But dark romances are not my thing unless it has a paranormal twist to it, because I feel like some dark romances are so dark that it reads as a paranormal, but it's not. You see what I'm saying? It's kind of like you might as well just do a paranormal at this point, because this is, you know, it becomes too much sometimes, and it's like, okay.
And I read some. Okay, I read dark romance. I read black dark romance, and I read white dark paranormal romance. Okay. But I read black, hands down, dark paranormal. I read that hands down, no problem. I have no issue with it.
Right.
It's just regular dark romance. I got an issue with it. It's just like
I do too. I'm the same way. But when it comes to paranormal, that's what I expect though. You know what I'm saying? Like, for example, like in a dark, like let's just say a dark romance, I will get turned off by the stalking or whatever that comes with it. But in a paranormal, you got a beast stalking you, and he in your dreams, and it's like, okay, I see it's different. Like it's just
all the torture and all that stuff. It's mandatory,
right?
It's mandatory.
It's different. So I get it.
So do you feel called to get even darker in your writing, psychologically, emotionally, and magically? If so, what's holding you back? Is it audience expectations, the market, or something internal?
I think it's the market. I think it's the market. I think my thing is because I came into this industry writing street lit, and then I started doing paranormal, and I feel like a lot of the readers that read my paranormal, they read my street lit, and then I feel like if I go above that, and it's like, nah, she doing too much, because I kind of feel like I'm already, sticking my fingers in a hot pot, just doing like paranormal, but I do want to do other things, but I just feel, it's very limited. Yeah. It's sad, but it's limited in what is tolerated, I guess,
I think we're at that place now that we want that. We want that right now.
That's good, because trying to, doing it for years. It's kind of like, like, damn, but when is it going to get to a point where y'all really like?
Yeah. I feel like, because I know there's been a lot of black readers saying, hey, we want more dark romance. So a lot of authors are coming out with dark romance
for,
that is featuring black characters.
Right.
I feel like in the paranormal community, same. I want dark as shit, because as you were saying, like, the creatures are who they are.
Well, I did a very dark book, and it was like, it was not, I don't think too many people liked it, but it wasn't what it seemed. My Love on a Brain book, I went dark. When I say dark, you had somebody even compared it to like a Lovecraft, like I didn't watch Lovecraft Country. or anything like that. But it was dark. Like the history, it was very dark. And it was like, I can't read this. Like, this is not normal Natavia work. And I didn't want it to be different. But it was very dark, you know?
And what's the name of it?
Love on the Brain. Because, you know, okay, so it's, you have like, not too many people like zombies. And that's just not the only. See, I found my tribe.
But, I love zombies.
Okay, but the thing is, right? I think they think the main character is like a zombie, like The Walking Dead. And the first time, like when I first dropped it, it was like, oh, I'm sorry, I can't read about zombies having sex, and I'm like, that's not even what it's. But it's dark. It's dark. It's very. It dives into history, like Black history. Like it's deep. It's very. I feel it's very dark.
Well, I'm reading.
I was writing it, like when I was writing it, I got scared. Like I almost gave myself a nightmare. Like, oh wait a minute, I'm getting a little bit too deep now. Like, let me back up. I'm scared myself.
So how many books are in the series? One?
It's just one book. So what happened was originally when I dropped it, it was a series, but I combined all the parts to it. So now it's just a standalone. I made it a standalone, but it's on my website. But the book is like 600 and something pages.
That ain't shit for me when it comes to a paranormal.
Yeah, but it's like 600 something. It takes you on a journey. Like, it's different. Like, when somebody asks me, like, out of all the books, what would you want to see, like, on the screen? I feel like that would be the number one. Out of all my books, I feel like that would be, like, on some sinners type of stuff. Like, it will be one of those type of stories. Like, I swear, like, out of all my books, that one.
Let me find out. So when we talk about expansion in the genre of fiction, especially Black speculative work, what are the stories you wish you saw more of? What do you believe is missing from the current literary landscape when it comes to Black authors writing fantasy, paranormal, and horror?
I think Black love. And the reason why I say that, because we have this thing where every time this is something that I noticed a long time ago, and actually I know when I noticed it, that's when I was like, you know what, I'm gonna do a paranormal with straight Black, you know, melanated. No offense to anybody, but yeah, you know, but it's just like a lot of characters were like, and I have no problem with interracial characters, but it was like, that was like when you picked up a paranormal book, an African American paranormal book, it was always a white man and a Black woman on the cover. And you even still have that now. Like, it's always that. It's always that, like, savior like that savior storyline in there. And I'm like, you know what? I want to do something that's, you know, I want to do like Black love type of thing, like soulmates type of thing, because I just feel like it's not represented.
Yeah.
In the paranormal, you know, it's always about mating, which is cool. It's always about something, but it's like not really about like love, like a connection. And I just want to keep that.
I can see that. You know, I think with the 80s and 90s having such a big white explosion in paranormal.
Right.
And at the time, Black authors were more so in the mom and pop shops and selling out their cars and stuff like that. People try to go with what paid the bills.
Right, that's true.
And so it's stuck.
Right.
And I read interracial and I read Black romance. So I think that now it's such a variety, but the problem is so many Black authors are intimidated by the word paranormal.
They are.
They are so intimidated by paranormal, fantasy, speculative fiction, anything to do with mystical anything.
Right.
They're intimidated by it, and so they never dive in it. And the only time we get it is Halloween.
That's true. And you know what's crazy? That's when I started it. That's when I used, I ain't gonna lie, I used Halloween as my coming out.
Mm,
I was
damn.
like, you know what? I feel like they might not read this any other time, but they gonna probably read this for Halloween. When I dropped Beauty to His Beast, although I did have like little, it's crazy. Like they tore my ass up. They pulled me up in those reviews, and I was actually shocked. I'm like, really? I'm trying to give y'all something that we could, enjoy.
Yeah.
You guys sitting here tearing it up, but it is what it is. But I used that. I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna drop it on Halloween. So, and I want to say, like back then, having a lot of reviews was just different because they were more so like wasn't just ratings; they were like actual reviews. And I had like 300 and some reviews in like 1 month. And back then, that's a lot, because they were actual reviews. So out of all my books, that one like had the most reviews.
Mm.
And like I said, I wasn't trying to be serious, but at the same time, I was like, let me test this out a little bit. Let me just, get a feel because this, I want to, like I'm just one of those type of authors. Like I just can't I can't be boxed in.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because I can tell stories in different genres. I'm not just a street lit writer or that I can write different genres.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, let me use Halloween as like my little coming out.
I'm glad you did.
And I did. And and it's crazy, they was waiting for it. They was like, when is it coming? So when I dropped it, it was like, damn, because they wasn't expecting no werewolf with no gold fangs.
That's all I've been asking for. That's all. See, people be thinking I'm cracking jokes when I say if you gonna write a vampire, that motherfucker gotta have a grill.
Yeah, like a girl, like represent yourself, and I feel like a lot of the being like a lot of people don't want to touch you because I feel like they're afraid to represent themselves. I kind of feel like when you tap into paranormal, people automatically think, oh, it has to sound white, it has to sound like Interview with the Vampire, it has to sound like coffee, it has to sound like but no, like put your background in there, like put your culture in it, and and if they don't read it, they don't read it, but there's nothing wrong with it.
I think people don't, they're so worried about, and I like when you say I don't care what other people think. The problem is people care about what other people think, and so they are quick to pull back as soon as they get a bad review. And instead of just being authentically yourself, instead of writing what you write, because there's somebody who's gonna read it, somebody is gonna like it. Now you just took the story away from them, so now they like.
I will say I went through that struggle too. Because when I did Beauty to His Beast, when I did my first paranormal, I ain't gonna lie, I was just like, I had like a little breakdown. I ain't gonna lie, I cried. And I never really cried about my books, but I cried about that because I'm just like, like, I will never forget this one. I was asked to do like an interview in a group, and it wasn't even the type of interview to ask me like, what made you want to write paranormal? It was like to like bash me. I would never forget. Yeah, they made like this whole slide with these like this whole movie slide or whatever, and they didn't even talk about like actually what made me want to write it. They was just like critiquing it. And I'm just like, why would you ask me to come and do an interview just to critique and tear apart my book when you could have just, wrote a review? And the girl, like, she critiqued it. She had like this slide in it, and I guess she took the slides from the movie Underworld or something like that. So yeah, I feel like I was like attacked on like some, I felt like I was like the sacrifice for real. Like I took all the heat, like. But yeah, so I had to say, like, you know what? I hate to say it, and I don't want to, I was like, fuck y'all.
That's crazy.
Like, fuck y'all. Like, so I continued with it, and I'm happy that I did, and I'm happy that that little depression or that anger that I was going through, I'm happy that I overcame that. And I'm like, you know what? It is what it is. Because it was some people that really did love it. They was like, oh my God, like, I really love this. Because you have some people that will read my paranormals and just read that. They don't read my street lit. They just wait for my paranormals because that's what they like to read. So I really have people like hit me up and say, you know, I'm happy you did this because not just that, the main female like the main female character, she was plus size. You know,
Yeah.
I have a lot of plus size characters in my book.
Yeah.
I'm a plus size woman myself, and so I had her as this like this the mate to this alpha male, like this alpha wolf, and he's like, you know, so it was like it was just a lot of things going on, and I think a lot of people had, oh, she got a plus size character, oh, she got a werewolf with gold things, and he wearing Timbs, and they talking like, you know, they got that. So it was like really ripped apart, and I was like, you know what? I was like, fuck it.
That's wild. That is
like, fuck it. But at one point I was like, damn. So, I was thinking about like, you know what, I'm not going to even do this anymore. But like I said, I did it because I just wanted to like test it out. But like, remember I said I fell in love with the story, and I was like, you know what, I could see me writing a series. That series ended up turning to seven parts. And I kept going. Then I did Brick. Same thing with Brick. Oh, they tore it up in the group. The same damn group. I'm like, man, if y'all hate me, just say that.
You know what? Do me a favor. When we get off here, I just need you to slide the name of the group to me.
I will. So they tore it up. Oh, I feel like paranormal shouldn't be urban. Oh, I feel like it was like
why?
I feel like it was Thor. How the fuck?
How the fuck you get Thor out of?
And I love Thor, but how the fuck you, the baby? Brick was bringing all kinds of.
That was a nick.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay.
How dare you?
But you know what? Brick ended up getting more reviews than Beauty to His Beast. So then it became my second highest review book. And I was like, you know what, man, let me tell you, when I did Brick, I was like, I wasn't even, so when I did Brick, I didn't do research. Mm-hmm. I didn't do any research. I didn't do like, I was just like, you know, I'm going to just do a paranormal, and I'm not going to do, I'm just going to do it. You know, I'm just going to it's how I see it. So it's like, that's why you got those different creatures. And I think they call Piats or something like that. I just made up like names because I was like, let me just do something very different and from, you know, just from my imagination. So, but let me tell you, ain't nobody doing it like Brick.
Girl.
Let me tell you, Brick
could be a whole motherfucking movie, a mini series, a fucking series. Because Brick,
when his big ass fell out that sky and landed on her car, that was it.
And then when she said, when my car at this, and said, I balled it up and put it in a dumpster. When you did what?
It was big
as fuck with locks.
Yeah, long locks, beautiful.
Woo. Jesus, he had me at the Jordans and smelling good.
Yes, and then had money. Then he was a protector.
Girl, and told this woman. So I just came so we can discuss what we finna do.
Yeah. He was so arrogant though. Like he was arrogant.
Didn't I tell you not to wear that skirt?
Yeah, like he was arrogant. Like he was just so arrogant, and like it was this one scene when he showed up at the party. Like she called her. I can't really remember the other guy's name, but she called herself trying to date somebody else, and and he showed up at the party. He was like something about I'm the Yale Bricks or something like that. Like he just said something, and her whole face was like, he just really,
he was checking her every 5 seconds.
He was arrogant.
He said, "We're gonna have to see what we're gonna have to do something about that mouth."
Yeah.
I love Brick, Trill, 2 of my favorites.
Yeah.
Ever wanna break down a bad bitch? Give me them 2 niggas.
Oh, they gonna humble you, because Trill was humbling the hell out of
anytime she said something, it was just like, and he do it so nonchalant. Like,
Yeah.
girl, I don't know how you made these male characters, but
You know
God.
what? I make them like, you know how you have that dream guy,
Mm-hmm.
like that
Mm-hmm.
dream person. I
Mm-hmm.
think that's where they come from.
Well,
They just
goddamn.
come, they just come from like, if I could hand pick the type of man that I want. That's where they come from. Like they just come from that. But I'm telling you, Brick. When I first started writing him, I was like, I don't know how they go, but I was like, fuck it, like like when he first came on the scene, it was everything, like,
Girl,
and then
because we all looking at the sky like, where the fuck is our brick?
she was just getting off from work because he was like in a war, like he was fighting with another planet, and then she just getting off from work, big ass, just boom, flattening her motherfucking car, like
Like it wasn't shit. Like it wasn't shit. And then gonna take her to the place and talking about something, yeah, so X, Y, and Z finna happen. I'll be back, pick you up tomorrow, boo woo.
Yeah, he was
like disappeared.
Like you seen me in this and that, so now we married. Like, yeah. Like, yeah.
And then come back the next day, pull up in a nice clean ass, what was it, a Lexus or a Bill?
It was like a truck. I think he had a truck because he was like I think he had like a truck.
Pull up, come out the car with his Jordans on, dress fly and shit.
Yeah, like what the fuck? Like
oh, Jesus. Bruh. that book 1 and 2, yes.
giving all types of BDE.
Oh my God. So your Facebook reader group is not just a fan base, it's a tribe. Yes. What does it feel like to have that kind of energy surrounding your work? And how do those readers' connections shape your creativity or motivate you on days when writing feels heavy?
I just think the feedback, like my group is pretty much active, and I always get like, "Hey, Natavia, I just read this and read that," and I'm like, "Let me get up off my ass. Let me stop moping around. Let me do this. Let me do that." Or they'll be like, "Hey, I would like to read this type of book," like, cause that's how I end up getting into the fairies. Cause she's like, about the fairies, and I'm like, fairies are slept on. So I'm starting to like get into the fairies and the dark elves and all of that. So
I'm gonna tell you right now, I've had such a bad experience with fairies because of white people that I had sworn them off.
Really?
Yeah, because they write them like they write in the Constitution. They with white wigs and shit and looking like Lord of the Rings and yeah, it'd be boring.
My fairies have locks.
But no, that's what I'm saying.
Oh.
I am now cool with it as long as a black person is writing. Right. But I had been banning fairies from my list of books to read because every time I get excited about reading a paranormal and it has fairy in it, it turns to shit.
Really?
Yes.
Like what kind of shit?
That should be boring as fuck.
Oh. But so I feel like, so when I, like, okay, for Ebony, so when I think of her, like, fairy, I think of, like, a seducer. She has a sex appeal, like, her sex, and then it's kind of like, so is this one scene where her in War is, like, intimate, and I have it, because, fairies are connected.
His name is War?
His name War.
Oh, shit. Why that sound sexy as hell?
So it's like, how fairies are connected with nature, right? So it like goes into like how her, is like a honeysuckle. And so when he give her orgasm, it's like a honey, like a sweet honey that comes out. So he calls her his pissy fairy. And that's why when when I post, I always play that song with Jimmy. Yeah, it's real freaky. So she's like, so it's like, it's different. Like her fairy is like like the men, they see her, to get like like they can't, like she's beautiful, like she just have this. And then, but yeah, it's so he calls it I forgot what they it's called. It's like love potion, like a love potion. Yeah, when she have orgasms, it's like a honey that comes out,
Oh.
and he addicted to it.
Oh.
Yeah. So it's just, I don't know what type of furries everybody else got going on.
Oh, they ain't writing nothing like that. I can tell you that damn much.
Yeah, and then it's like, and then it has like a glitter, like it looks like gold glitter, like it's like a serum. Yeah.
When is this dropping again? Is it gonna be on the website or it's gonna be on KU?
It's gonna be on KU. It's gonna be on KU.
Oh, when is this dropping again?
I don't have no date for it. I'm gonna just drop it. It's coming soon. It's coming very soon. When I drop on KU, I don't even give dates because sometimes they take forever to release.
Yeah.
So when I drop on Amazon, I just be like, "Hey y'all, here's the link."
It's stressing me out already. I'm stressed out. All right. So in the publishing industry that still often sidelines Black voices, how do you stay visible, relevant, and in demand, especially with physical books and indie press runs?
Oh, that's hard. Look, I'm just still here. Like it is hard. Like I ain't gonna lie, it's hard. Like being an indie author though, so it's hard to answer. Like I will say the readers that still that's rocking with me or whatever, I will still keep me. They just keep me here.
Yeah.
As long as they reading, I'm gonna keep writing. But it does get hard, especially with everything changing.
Yeah.
A lot of people like. I start to notice like there's a pattern, like what's popular, that's what everybody gravitate to.
It's unfortunate, but yeah.
And I don't do that.
Yeah.
I'm not into that. So I'm still here.
Yeah. I mean, people base their whole soul being on popularity.
They do.
Instead of talent. So, and it's unfortunate.
It is. And because I would be like, what's going to happen when this genre fades away? What's going to happen? That's why I always try to keep myself writing different genres, because I feel like it's going to get to a point where urban fiction is going to become so like
oversaturated,
and then it's like to the point where some urban fiction books don't even, I mean, even though fiction is not supposed to be realistic, but it's more so it's almost on the lines of paranormal.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like urban fiction now is just really not really like urban fiction like that.
Mm-hmm.
So I always try to keep myself writing different things. I'm gonna tap into horror soon.
I can see that because you damn near was doing it with Cruella. So
yeah, I gotta keep into horror now.
Because the gore was goring, and I love that for me.
I love gore. Like I love blood. Like
I need you to write a zombie book. I ain't talking about the Love on the Brain zombie book. I'm talking about dystopian zombie craziness.
They have that in there. Love on the Brain has everything. It has spirits. It has like spirits that came back from like the lynching eras. Like they have spirits. They have zombies. It has like.
Why am I just now hearing about this book?
You have a medium that connects with the dead. It's like a lot, and it's like apocalypse, and then you have like the government that's involved. Like it's like a lot. Like that's why I said like, because it's one of those books that you're reading it and you're like, what the fuck? Because it starts off like, it's okay. So it starts off with a football player, right? And he's a good kid. He has, his father died when he was young, so his mother was a single mother, and so he's like quarterback. And what happened was he ended up messing with this white girl, or having a relationship with a white girl, and her father was racist. So her father was a cop. So it's kind of like he started harassing the main character, and it got to a point where they got into a scuffle and he killed the officer.
Mm.
So he ends up getting locked up, and they trying to put all these other charges on him, saying he's like a gangster. Mind you, he had good grades. He reported this officer for harassment, and they just like pretty much just throwing all these charges out. And so he's in prison, and there's this thing going on where they are experimenting on prisoners. So they experiment on him. They inject him with this, this is the thing that making everybody turn to zombies. So he turns into something though, but it's not like a zombie. He turns like a superhuman. So he's bulletproof. And it's just like a lot. And the girl that he's really in love with, she's like an activist, and she's a medium, and she connects with the dead. So it's like apocalypse, and then it's like a lot of layers. I can't. It's a lot, and I have a homegirl that doesn't even read that type of stuff because she's scared. She's scared of a lot of it. She don't like it, but when I was telling her about it, she was like, "Oh, what happened next? What happened next?" Because she was just so into it. But it's very deep.
I'm gonna read that. That sounds good as fuck.
It's very
So,
deep.
are you gonna tap into more of that?
I wanted to, but I feel like I just felt like it was just one of those books where, it's unfortunate, but I kind of feel like it's one of those books where if you are in tune with history and if you're gonna like it, because it has like a lot of things in there. Like so one of the characters, he's a Caucasian character, and he's best friends with the main character. And when he was younger, his family like lived on this land that used to be like a slave plantation. So he used to see like people that were lynched on the property and things like that. So it's very deep. It's very deep. And I kind of feel like if you're expecting like it's a love story too, but if you're expecting that like perfect like love story is not gonna be that.
I want to read that.
I think you would like it though. I think you would like it. I think you would love it. It gets deep.
I like that type of stuff. So
it has you thinking, like one of those books and it took me a while to like, and I got frustrated because when I dropped it, it was like they wasn't fucking with it, and I took it off Amazon for years. I just took it off.
You know what? It was, I don't know if it was, yeah, it was, because you telling me that it was another author who book was also, she was like, they weren't fucking with it, so I don't know if I'm going to write anymore. And that was Masterpiece. She did a sci-fi book. And shit was superb. But nobody knew about it was because she went back to, what she was doing, but that book was superb. I can't wait to read this book because I just feel like it's good as fuck. These are the type of books that I, myself, and those who read what I read that usually ask for book reviews from me read. So, just saying. I hope you do.
It's different. It's a journey because, and then you have this young couple that his brother that they end up turning to because it's like a certain blood type. Like they had this rare blood type that the virus kind of like gives them a different, it's like a different side effects. So they kidnap his brother and they turn him, and then he falls in love with a girl, and it's kind of like it's like one of those things where young people have to like grow up, become adults fast because of racism and things like that.
Yeah, I gotta read this. So, what role has social media played in your success, and how do you manage the business side of being an author while still preserving the joy of storytelling?
Oh, I don't really be on social media like that.
Oh, I know. I know. I know.
I used to. But I don't really be on there like that. I'm trying to get back. I think because social media like changed for me.
Mm.
And I feel like I'm one of those old fashioned authors that's just used to like interacting with my group and things like
Mm-hmm.
that. But I think it changed far as, and people got the visuals now, people doing the different quotes now, people doing like those videos, those character visuals, and that stuff to me is like, it's too much. Too much. I feel like because I just want to write. Like,
Yeah.
it becomes too much. So I'm trying to get into the social media again.
You
I'm
need just
trying.
you need a PR team.
I'm trying, like, cause me and social media don't really like.
So within the Black literary circles, there are often whispered critiques about the industry. Things people are scared to say out loud. What's one thing you wish would change in the paranormal or urban fiction scene that no one talks about publicly? It's the face for me.
Ooh, I'll be sitting here for 2 damn days. Oh, I think it's. Ooh, it's a lot. It's a lot.
So give me your top two.
um. Oh, I feel like publishers. I feel
Mm.
it's like so you have this thing where you do have, for example, a lot of publishers. I don't want to be messy, but you do have a lot of authors, right? That
Mm-hmm.
come to me, and I'm actually trying to like mentor one into writing paranormal.
Mm-hmm.
And they come to me and they say, I want to write paranormal, but my publisher don't want to push it. They don't know how to market it. And I think that's a thing because you can't call yourself a publisher and you have this big platform, but you can't market urban paranormal.
Mm.
And urban paranormal is not even, it's more people are accepting the genre now.
Mm-hmm.
It's not like back then. People are more accepting to urban paranormal now.
Mm-hmm.
So the fact that you're telling people they can't market it is just crazy. But I feel like that, and then the titles. I don't know what else to say.
There's a virgin everywhere.
You know what I don't? Okay, I'm not.
It's a virgin everywhere.
Look, y'all, I don't know if there's any authors on here. I'm sorry. Okay, but I say this with love. I just don't understand how you a billionaire in the hood. But hey, to each his own. I never seen a billionaire in the fucking hood.
Well, it's better than Quan Mills and fucking roaches that shift into baby daddies.
I ain't gonna lie, his titles are his titles are so like stereotypical. I thought it was a white man.
I still to this day say that it's a white man.
But he go live. He's a
But
black man.
but he might be just somebody that, is doing it for the white man.
Cause I feel like some of those titles it has like a racial undertone.
I got pregnant by a big bug.
But people like it.
Girl.
And I feel like it's some authors out here that got some that's like, really want that recognition. And
I can guarantee y'all, y'all will never see that man on this here podcast ever in life. I have to be blind, deaf, and stupid.
But they said the titles are just I got satire. Like the books have nothing to, because one of my friends read his books and they said his book has nothing to do with the title.
That's great, but
I get it. I ain't gonna lie. When I first saw it, I'm like, this got to be a white man. Like, I'm not gonna this. It was just so like it was like something with chillings. It had like a title with chillings in it.
Nope. Nope.
But you know what? I think my issue is when I think of like just being an author, like I just miss like back in the day. I miss like the old urban feel, because it's like back then titles were different. Everybody had a different title, but now it's like everybody had the same title because that's what's popular. So when you type that title in Amazon search, all these books gonna come up with that title. So, but back then we didn't do that. We had like our own titles. We had like our own style. We had our own voice. We had our own everything. But now it's like if you see one author popular in something, they try to latch on and try to, like not copy, but and I don't like that. That's like one of my biggest pet peeves, no lie. Like I hate that because I'm like a lot of authors are being overshadowed the same, like all these books the same title. And you have like some good ass authors out here that need that recognition. But
I think and y'all in the paranormal world, y'all kind of stand out because your titles are never alike. Y'all might be talking about wolves or talking about vampires, but they never are the same fucking title.
Right. Even my urban fiction or street lit books, they're different. Like I can't do I'm not into that. Like I just feel like it's just I hate it. I ain't gonna lie, I hate it with a passion. I just hate when I see and I also hate the BBW titles too. But that's just me. I hate it. Because it's crazy. I've been writing about BBW since I first came on scene. I've never had to market it as a BBW. I didn't look at it as a category. I just looked at it. I didn't focus on the size. Like, I
think it's just a different generation.
And that's what I can't. It's hard.
Yeah, it's a lot of politics and it's a lot of politics in what a lot of authors put on their titles, because you have those who like, oh, you wrote a BBW, but how the hell I supposed to know it's a BBW? So there's authors that'll be like, okay, we're gonna put that BBW aspect in the title.
Right.
You said it's a paranormal, but it's really dark. So you have to put that dark parent, just like back in the day, there were no trigger warnings.
Right. Now we put and that's what I don't like. Right. But you know what? I think what happens is social media plays a major part, and the interaction the authors have with the readers plays a major part in that, because back in the day, what you get is what you get, and it wasn't no trigger warning. Like my favorite author is Quan, and we all know Quan has this knack of killing off his main characters, and his books can be deep, and his books didn't come with trigger warnings.
Yeah.
And these books actually hit New York's, the New York
Times bestseller list. Yeah.
And it wasn't no warning. It wasn't none of that. But now, because we have this social media has played a part in a lot of things, that you have readers now telling authors directly what they should write or what they shouldn't. And that's why I say I don't really like. I'm on here to make my presence known, because I do like to be on social media, but I try not to be on it so much because I don't want it to take away the way that I write. And and I noticed that my energy changes when I'm on social media a lot. Like my energy changes when I'm writing. Like if I'm on social media all day, or I'm on Facebook and I'm talking to everybody, my mood shifts when I'm writing, because now I gotta, such and such said they don't like this. They don't like that. So then I'm on my document and I'm like, shit, let me take this out. And I don't like that because it's not original.
Yeah. I feel like, remember when we was talking about popularity? I feel like as authors, some people are in it for the popularity, not the longevity. And they are in it for the riches, not the wealth.
Right.
So I think people want that instant gratification of having the banner, the instant gratification of having people saying, oh my God," and latching onto them, but they're not seeing past that bigger picture because there's been authors who've been writing for years,
Right.
and they, know the game and
Right.
are very humble about it.
Right.
And there are some like, and then that one hit and we don't hear from them again.
Right.
So there's so many politics that goes into the literary world that it wasn't back when
Right.
compared to now. So I don't know.
And you know what? That's is it's like a gift and it's like a curse because back then we couldn't really talk to our favorite authors. I couldn't hit up Quan in his inbox and be like, hey, this and that. But now you have that, and I honestly like that because it does get me through bad days. Like if I get like a message from a reader and like, hey, I read your book, it helped me and things like that. I like, I love those type of messages. At the same time, I don't want to have to censor what I can't and I can't write because I'm in a group and I see y'all having a discussion about, I try to stay away from these type of books because, and it's kind of like, damn, what can we write now?
Yeah.
What can we write? And the truth to me, when I think of street lit, I think of raw. Like street lit not supposed to be, it's not supposed to be censored.
No.
Street lit is gritty. That's the whole point. It's gritty, and that's why that's my favorite genre is street lit.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's gritty, and I'm the gritty type of author. Like I love the grit. I love all of that. But it was getting to a point where I had to I felt like I had to soften myself, and so I dropped these books that I don't even like. And people be like, hey, why you don't mention these certain books? I'm like, because it wasn't me.
Damn.
Like it wasn't me because it didn't have that Natavia grit that I love, but I try to soften it because they like people like romance now. I'm not a romance author. I could put romance in a book.
Yeah.
But I'm not that's not the focus.
Yeah.
But I honestly feel like that's like the biggest things that I don't like in the industry. And I love being an author.
Mm-hmm.
I always wanted to be a writer. I knew that when I was a little girl. I just kept telling myself I'm gonna be a writer, and I love it.
Mm-hmm.
I have a passion for it, but at the same time, sometimes it just makes me not. I be like, damn, I don't want to write no more because what can I write?
Yeah.
That's like anything. Like it's always a problem. Like you got to put this on. You got to. No, I don't. I don't want to do that. I don't want to do it. I want to stick. I want to stick to the. I want to stick to the code.
So let me ask you about this AI. This has been like the hot takes of hot takes. People either love it or don't. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So AI is a hot button topic right now. Some see it as a threat to creative integrity, while others see it as a tool. Where do you stand in this growing conversation around AI in publishing, especially in indie author spaces?
Like the book covers?
Mm-hmm.
I don't see nothing wrong with it.
Me neither.
I don't see nothing wrong with it because I know one like for example, like I had a few books that I had to take. Well, I had to get a new cover for because I no longer had the rights to the person on the cover. Mm-hmm. So I had to get like a few books. I had to get my covers remade because I guess like iStock Photo and all of that, they have like a license on those, and like once they tell you can't use this photo no more, you're gonna have to get a new cover. Mm-hmm. But I feel like with AI, you don't have to worry about that.
So how do you?
Like it don't bother me.
So how do you feel about graphic design artists to be like it takes away from them because now you can go to Mid Journey, you can go to Canva, and you can just type in what you want and be like, shit, I got me a cover.
Oh, you saying like it takes away from the actual graphic designer? Mm-hmm. But the actual graphic designers use AI too.
I know.
So I don't know.
I know.
I mean, believe it or not, but you do have some graphic because I'm gonna get into like comic books I love comics. So I feel like there's no. I'm gonna have to actually get like a
Right.
illustrator. I feel like
Yeah.
AI cannot do no comic book.
Hell
So but
no.
I feel like there's still a need for designers. You know, I feel like it's still a need.
Yeah, I mean, I
It
have a
don't really bother me, but you know what? People use AI for to write books. Like you have some AI websites that write whole novels now, and I didn't know that. I just found that out like a month ago. I'm like, you serious? Yeah.
yeah. I have this whole bookshelf over here is filled with nothing but black graphic design. I mean, graphic novels, comic books, because that's all I read is comic books. But
I
they got to
love,
be from black authors.
I love comic books, and I told myself I'm gonna do a paranormal comic book.
Please do.
I am.
Please do.
I'm gonna do a paranormal. I promise you. I already like went on. I'm already looking for a designer, but I just like I can't limit myself. Like there's a lot of things I want to do. Like I'm not just a urban fiction. Right? I want to do things. I like comics, and we don't have enough. That's another thing. We don't have enough great comic books.
We don't. We don't.
We don't have that, and I'm gonna do it.
We don't. Because I can only buy so many from
Right.
just. I mean, I try to support all black comic book and graphic designers, but I mean graphic comic novels, but it's only so many.
Right. It's not many. And again, you have like I said, the thing about us with is a challenge is that we want to do a lot, but our support system just like one certain thing. Like I wish that our people did like more people did read comics, and I wish they did read paranormal. But everybody wants, they like urban fiction and they like urban romance. There's nothing wrong with that, but I just be thinking like, damn, I wish they can boost us up so we can get movies and stuff,
Yeah, I it's
Yeah.
it's groups like yours, Soda Black and Nikki Clark. Now they have a group. It's an intergalactic sci-fi fantasy romance group with black intergalactic alien romance books.
Right.
You have Tessa Stone, Melody Lynch, and El Medeiros. They have a paranormal group as well, and it's just like I find a lot of my paranormal wrecks from out of those groups because Amazon is one, it's not gonna tell me.
It's not.
Two, it's usually word of mouth when it comes to paranormal and speculative fiction or alien romances. And three, people act like they don't like it, but they really read the shit. They just don't talk about it.
Right.
I don't know what's the stigma of reading paranormal. Like, bruh, who gives a fuck? Read what the fuck you like.
Yeah, because I know I do. I used to read everything. I used to read books about Bigfoot, everything. Like, I didn't have, like, I just used to read. I didn't really have, like, but I just feel like if we have the support system, I feel like a lot of people would dive into other things. But, there's this high demand for, different tropes and what's popular. It's always about what's popular, right? And I be happy when that fades out.
Girl.
Bring back different a variety. Please bring it back. Like bring it back. Like it'd be like 10, 20
It's gonna take about 6 months.
It'd be 10 or 20 books about the same thing. And there's nothing wrong with that, but write it because you want to and not because
It's the most popular thing.
Right.
Popular.
Well, yeah, like
For every person that's writing it, it's only gonna be like 2 or 3 people that's gonna succeed.
Amen. The other one's gonna get lost in the sauce.
Yeah.
Because they're gonna see that name and they're gonna be like, oh, I'm familiar with her book. Like, if you're a new author trying to write what's popular, oh, you doomed.
She said you are doomed.
You are doomed. Don't even set yourself up, baby. Don't even come out here like that. You are doomed. But it's sad, but that's how it is.
So, for a new Black author stepping into paranormal or fantasy spaces, what's your biggest piece of advice, especially around ownership, originality, and creative freedom?
I tell everybody research.
Mm.
Just research. Like, just research. Make it come alive. And I think the thing is, a long time ago, I had read a paranormal book, and it was supposed to be about werewolves, but nobody was shifting. So like,
Lichens?
honey, they ain't turned to nothing besides get sharp teeth and nails. That's it, and growls here and there. It wasn't even no howling. Like, so you just got to do your research. Yeah, I was like, can you shift already? Like, I want to hear some bones cracking. Like, bring back that shifting. Like, I want to hear the bones cracking.
Like the Howling movie.
Yeah, like,
They don't do that. It'd be like a smooth ass shift. Ah, that should be smooth as hell.
no, like when I that first shift, you ain't gotta mention it every time they shift, but that first shift, you want it to be like, you want the bones to be cracky. You want that to be painful. Like, you want it to feel real.
Yeah.
And I always tell people, like, just do your research, because you want your paranormals to come alive. Like, I know people just be like, oh, I can just, no, baby, you still gotta do your research, because you want your animal to be an animal.
True.
You want him to, like, he can't be a werewolf if he don't have like a special like nose, like he can't smell from miles away. Like, it's pointless. Like, you gotta have it down pat. Yeah, he was not shifting.
That's the oddest thing I ever heard.
It's a lot. It's believe it or not, it's a lot of books like that.
Really?
It's a lot of books like that where there's like really no shifting. Yeah, they have like the makeup, but they don't have like the animal instinct type of thing. Like, they'll have like sharp teeth or nails or something like that, but they're not really like, growling. Like, when I read a shifter book, I expect him to have animalistic ways, like animal instincts. Like,
exactly.
I want you to be able to smell your ops from 2 miles away.
Yeah. I expect that motherfucker to be like, he smelled me in motherfucking China talking about you horny.
Yeah.
And he all the way in America.
Yeah, like, that's what I want. I want it to be on some marking my territory, biting type of thing. Like, you're my mate forever and I'm going to mark you type of thing. Like, but yeah. So I always tell people, do their research, because you don't.
That's crazy. All right.
There's some out here like that.
Okay.
Yes, Cassidy, that's what I want. I want that. You know what's crazy? I had so when Goon shifted, I don't know if you read Beauty to His Beast. But so he shifted and he was sniffing in his wolf form. He was sniffing between her legs. And she didn't know he was a werewolf. And she like, get the fuck away, because her car had crashed. And she was like in the woods with this big black asshole. He was sniffing between her legs.
Shit, I'm gonna just go through your fucking catalog. I only read certain books.
That's not first. So it's.
I'll have to go through your fucking catalog.
Yeah, he was sniffing between her legs. Goon was a good time. Look, Kiki said, Goon was that dude. Okay, Goon was that.
Shit, I guess the Goon tattoo I'm getting is gonna have double meaning. Shit.
Oh, you getting a Goon tattoo?
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I'm getting right here. What's a goon to a goblin with a goblin face right here?
Oh, I like that. Yeah.
Damn. Okay. I think I got my reading list for this weekend. So, what books are coming? Wait, before I even say this, have you written a BDSM paranormal?
Nah, I hate that. Believe it or not. And it's crazy because somebody like say, how the hell you don't like that? And I hate it.
I'm flabbergasted.
I don't like BD. I ain't gonna lie. If I open up a book and it has that in there, I'm gonna close it.
Are you? No.
I hate 50 Shades of Grey.
No, see, I ain't talking about white people shit. That's white people shit. I'm talking about black people shit.
With the
Bitch,
same, like,
it's
maybe.
not the same. It's not the same.
Well,
It's,
what is it?
oh my God. We will have to talk at a
Is it
different
like
time.
dog collars and shit?
Hell no. Bruh. Okay. I'm a dom. I'm in BDSM. I'm a dom myself, female dom.
Okay.
I ain't got nobody walking around here in no damn dog collars or no leash. A dom, okay. BDSM is a power exchange. That's all it is. You already write it. It's a power exchange between a submissive and a dom. The submissive has more power because they gave permission to that dom to control their life, pretty much.
Well, that's pretty much what Ebony is, then I think.
And then the collar comes into play as this could be a collar. This could be a collar. This could be a collar. This is just defining who they belong to as property, not in the sense of property like an object, but property of your well-being is entrusted to me till the time being of such time our contract is done.
I think I write that already a little bit then.
So it's nothing like
See, that's how I was introduced to it, and so it turned me off.
That's white people shit. Okay, that's white people shit.
Okay,
there's a difference, but the bottom line of it is power exchange, exchange, and then it's kink. There are different levels to kink. So not everybody do that crazy shit they be doing.
Okay.
It's different levels of kink. You just gotta look up the different kinks.
Somebody said, yeah, my shifters be doing it. Okay, so I think
Because you do primal play. Primal play is when they chasing in the woods and stuff like that.
I think I read something like that in Beauty to His Beast. Like she was like Little Red Riding Hood, and he was like
that's role playing, primal play. Like they chasing after her, and then next thing you know, they hunt you.
Oh, so what did I write about that then a little bit?
Yeah.
I just didn't. I just feel like 50 shit. When I thought about that, I'm like, man, get this.
Yeah. And then consent is a big thing. Because
I know about the safe word. I know about that.
It's
right?
Consent. Yeah, it's safe word. It's consent and non-consent consent. Non-consent consent is the plane of like they didn't give consent, but they really gave consent. It's a role play. It's a scene.
You know what? I'm gonna have to do my research like somebody told me to do.
Mm-hmm.
Because I feel like with Ebony, it's kind of like that because she has like this thing around her neck that's like where she can't like leave when she want to leave or use her magic when she want to use it, and it's different, but it's like ownership type of thing, but it's like an understanding. Like I think I get it.
Yeah.
Somebody said you write it into me. Because when I think of that, I just think of weird shit. Like you look like you dress like what's the dude with the Hellraiser? Like every time I think of that shit, I think of motherfuckers that's dressed like Hellraiser, got them leather suits on, them pins and like it's just.
It'd be everyday folks wearing business suits and they got a necklace on with a heart on it that has a lock and key. There go your collar. You got men who got bracelets on that has their dominatrix name in the inside of it. That's their ownership. You know what I'm saying? It has nothing to do with none of that shit. That's just extra shit.
It is, and it's crazy because that's how I was introduced. Because I was introduced to that with 50 Shades of Grey. Like, I think everybody... And I saw that, and I was so turned off. I said, man, get this shit away from me. I don't want to... That got a nasty taste in my mouth. Like, it was bad.
Not a nasty taste in the BDSM community's mouth. It
pissed me off so bad.
That is not the representation of the community as a whole, and it definitely ain't the representation of Black BDSM. Period.
I'm gonna see because I feel like somebody said I do write a little bit, don't even know it.
You
That's
do?
crazy.
I mean,
I
Brick.
know with my werewolves, they do that. Like it's like
I mean,
submit.
Brick
Like
is a dom.
he
He
is.
even he is a dom.
He is.
He that alpha sigma type mentality he has. Like, bitch, I already know your move before you know your move. I know you
Right.
more than you know you. That's a dom.
I have this one where in just sober. He so Wolfgang he did this type of magic or spell or whatever to do like to make another her. So she was watching herself. She was like in a hypnotic I can't think of it. But she was like she couldn't move or anything like that. She was just like watching him please another version of herself.
Mm.
Like so she's stuck, right? And he conjured up this other like her it was her but it wasn't her, you know. She but the thing about it she could feel it.
Mm.
So he was having sex with a version of her and she was just in the chair watching, but she could feel it, but he wasn't it was
It's
very
like edging.
yeah.
It's like edging. You get pleasure to the point where you reach that point and then you pull back.
Right. But it's like he used magic with it.
And that's what I'm saying. It could be magical edging.
Yeah. And so she saw herself actually doing something with him and she watched and she could feel it and things like that. So I guess yeah, I've been doing that weird stuff. And then one of them like made another version of himself and ran a train on yeah.
Yeah. See?
Oh, that's tea.
See? See? I'm just saying.
Why nobody tell me that? Look, I've been talking about I do not like that. Like somebody, I'm like, y'all stop asking me. I don't like that. I do not like BDS. I don't like that.
See? Uh-huh. Now you know. So, what books are coming down the pipeline? What characters are still haunting you, waiting to be written into existence?
I have a lot. I have. So is this one that is it's called Ain't Nothing But a G Thing? It's about the character of course named G Thing and he gonna fall in love with like a prostitute. And then of course Ebony and then Love for Sigh. That's coming as well. That started on Kindle Vella. And you know Kindle Vella had ended. And I was mad because now I gotta do the whole book. And I was like, man, I was not expecting this. Like I didn't know it was coming to an end, so I uploaded my first episode. But they loved it.
Okay, what's that? What's that story?
It's called Love for Sigh.
What's that about?
Okay, so it's like you know your classic urban fiction, like well he's like a hitter. He's like a hitter. And it starts off when he's a little younger, she a little younger, her parents are fiends or whatever. He fall in love with her. His father is like this I ain't gonna say mafia. He's like this head honcho type of dude. And so he's like grooming his son to be like this like killing machine type of thing. But long story short, he'll end up catching a charge and he gonna be locked up. And when he get out, he's just gonna be different because it's like I was in jail for you and you left me, you abandoned me. But it's like it's a plot twist today.
I like that.
So yeah, it's different. Like so, a lot of them are waiting for that. And then I have what's it? Luxury Tea of DC, that's coming. It's like one of my more urban romance books. It's not really like based off the streets. It's like about these girls that work at the salon. And it's drama, like hella drama. What else? Then I got Priest. And then I got Silver Moon City. And then City Boys. I'm booked. Like I've been busy. Like I'm just trying to get back on I'm trying to get back on it because I kind of like a couple years ago I had took like I was thinking about quitting. I actually did quit.
What
I
the
quit.
freak?
Yeah, for like 7 months.
Oh
I went
no.
AWOL. Yeah, I went AWOL.
No.
Yeah, I was going through a lot.
No.
I was going. I had a bad breakup. It was
Oh.
bad. It was bad. And then I wrote so I was going through the break, like after I had the breakup, it was like, I did these books that I wasn't proud of,
Mm.
and it wasn't me. And around that time, that's when things also started changing too far as, and remember I was just saying like how everybody started like doing the, like was popular and things like that. So it was just like, so I started writing for 6 or 7 months, and then when I came back, I dropped my G, that book that you have in the flyer.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, so I got a lot of stories that I'm trying to get out. Somebody said rent money too. Yeah, rent money too. I'm not gonna do a rent money too, but I'm gonna do a Tinker and Kitty book for sure.
Okay. So, what book events, expos, or festivals can readers catch you at? And are there any you're manifesting for next year?
Yeah, so far I'm going to the Books on the Ground,
Mm-hmm.
October 18th. Y'all can catch me there. I'm gonna be there. It's my birthday weekend.
Uh-oh.
Turn it up. I think I'm going to another one, Characters in the City. I'm not for sure yet, but that's for sure. I'm going to the Books on the Ground.
Would you go to another one this year?
Uh huh.
Especially if one was in Virginia?
Yeah, it's when is the one in Virginia?
Well, me and my business partner have one Boozy Book Tour in Virginia July 26th.
Oh, I will be there.
I'll send you the information.
Thank you. I'm in the DMV. Like, where at in Virginia?
It's going to be in Arlington.
Oh, that's like a 45-minute ride.
Yeah, it's going to be in Arlington.
Oh, baby, I'm there. I did not know. Like, I will be there. Trust me. Definitely coming. I'm coming.
So, finally, for readers who want to stay connected, drop your social media handles, your Facebook group name, and anywhere else you're building your community and to buy your books.
So IG, do I write it in the comments?
You can just say it. This is going to be uploaded on YouTube, so y'all be able to see it again.
I'll be on YouTube.
And Spotify.
And they're going to know I'm messy. So, no, I'm just kidding.
And Substack.
Let me stop. I ain't say not messy. Listen. My IG is author_Natavia. And then my Facebook is author Natavia. And then my reading group is called Natavia's Bookcase. And then Natavia's Mystic Pages. Natavia's Mystic Pages is my paranormal, y'all. And then I have something else that's called Natavia's Cozy Corner. But I feel like if you type in Natavia in the groups, then all the groups will come up. Isn't that how it works?
Yeah, it'll all come up.
Right. And then my website, NataviaRice.com. So that's where I be dropping my exclusive ebooks. That's where you can get Cruella, Love on a Brain, and City Girl. And I feel like I like City Girl.
Okay. So you got a hot second so I can do my rundown for my end of evening commercial that I do at the end of my podcast?
Oh, yeah, go ahead.
All right. So y'all know Boozy Book Tour. We got events coming up. We have Raleigh, North Carolina, May 17th. We have Arlington, Virginia, July 25th and 26th. The 25th is the meet and greet. The 26th is the actual book signing. We have Chicago, Illinois, October 17th, 18th, and 19th. The 17th is You Learn How to Step Like Us in Chicago. The book signing is on the 18th. And on the 19th is the brunch, whiskey, and mimosas. So that's that. And then we'll also have our event, the Melanin Ball, which is our second Melanin Ball, which will be a house party for Jammy Jam in Las Vegas, Nevada, February 27th through March 1st. The first day is a movie, laser tag, and bowling. Second day is the book signing, the Itty Lit Awards, and the Melanin Ball. And the third day is the Hangover Brunch. Then we also have Denver, June 20th, 2026. That's a dungeon night. That's BDSM. That is multicultural, IR, erotica, and BDSM. This will be an interactive dungeon night, so you will get to interact with submissives and dominatrix and doms. Then we have Seattle, Washington. Yes, girl. Then we have, June 20th is the 19th, and the 20th to 19th is a sex toy party that night. And then the 20th is the dungeon night. So, yeah, you know. And you must sign the NDA, and it is 21 and up, and no cell phones will be allowed because you ain't about to tell on nobody. What they do is their business. Okay. Seattle, Washington is October 23rd through the 25th. This is the wonderful Why Choose Mad Tea Party. This will be a Why Choose poly genre event. The 23rd is the meet and greet. The 24th is the book signing and tea, and the 25th is the boozy brunch. So these events are sponsorships are available, and tickets are on our website. That's in the link in my bio. And for any other events that's coming up, for any other groups, you can go to Book Me There. Jaleesa has the site on Instagram. You can go to her site, Book Me There, and has all these freaking events coming up. So yes, Boozy Book Tour has a plethora of events coming up. So the link is in my bio, but the website is boozybooktour.square.site, and we have all our events up there. Now, businesses. Tylee Marked by Tylee. She's an editor. She does amazing work as an editor, PR company, and consulting. If you are looking as an author, influencer, and business that need PR marketing, because you just tired of doing all this shit your goddamn self, that's Nicole. Booked and busy. Urban Tea Room. She owns a book box company that does book boxes, and she turns your characters into teas. So you can get a book box that turns your character into teas. That is the urbantearoom.com. You got Jess Turn Pages. She does amazing work with spraying the edges and sides of the books. She talented as shit, because those books will be looking hella pretty. You writing this down? Her name is Jess Turn Pages. She does spray edges. And then you have my business partner, Shannon. She owns her own bookstore online. So if you are out there and want your book in bookstores, she has that. And she does spend the night boxes that includes adult toys with the boxes. Those book boxes look like her mask bags. She makes them herself. She did A.A. Lewis boxes. Those motherfuckers are classy. She has subscription boxes on her site. Her name is The Literary DFW. She does all that stuff. She also makes authors merch, shot glasses. She makes all the merch for Boozy Book Tour. So if you're looking for somebody, she is that person. If you are looking for another podcast, Booked and Busy Nicole, she has a podcast just like mine. It's more than one person that do it. We are not the same. Black people ain't a monolith, bitches. Jaleesa Reeds also have a podcast. And lastly, for all my links, they are in my bio, my website, my YouTube channel, my Substack, Spotify. They're all in my bio. And the roundtables that are coming up for me next month will be the librarian and the bookstore, where I will bring on bookstores and librarians to show you how to get your books correctly into bookstores online and physical bookstores, and librarians to get your books in the library. That will be May 8th. May 23rd is Sex and Books, where we're going to have authors come on and talk about sex and books and why it's important that Black people can have sex too in books. God damn it. And then on the 30th, we will be having the Queer and the Sapphic Roundtable, the importance of queer literature in the Black community. And then June 23rd, we'll be having the Black Love, where it'll be married couples coming on who are in the literary community that do reviews, have businesses, or they support their significant other. And we're going to talk about Black love. Yeah. And if you are out there looking for your book to become a film, we have Rowdy Gunshine Film Productions. They do indie films. They do indie films, web series, and scripted podcasts for indie authors. So if you are looking to get your your stuff into your books into a actual film and premiere at one of the Boozy Book Tours, you might want to hit them up. And also actress Chanel Mack of Wicked City, she is on here on TikTok. I interviewed her. She did say she is looking for authors who are in the indie world that are Black to get y'all to produce y'all books into film. All right, that's it. That's all the information I got.
I'm so mad. I'm sitting here trying to get all that shit down.
What you need? What you miss? What you miss?
I'm trying to the bookstore.
The bookstore is the Literary DFW. It is spelled LITUARY DFW, and her name is BIH_I read books together. And her name is Shannon. She's the business partner, my business partner for Boozy Book Tour.
Okay. Bougie Book Tour.
Boozy, BOOZY Book Tour. There you go. Somebody wrote it in there. The Literary DFW.
Okay. And that's the get the books in the bookstore. And then the film.
The film is Rowdy Gun Sky, ROWDY GUNNSKY Productions. They're here on TikTok as well. Yes, Misha. She's in the DFW.
Hey, Misha.
Yeah. So it's two Black females. They own a film company. They they've been to Issa Rae's film festival, nominated and all that stuff. So, but they're looking for indie authors to turn y'all books into film.
Okay.
Yep. Anybody else you needed?
The spray painting pages.
That's Jess. Hold on.
I think I got that one. Just Turn Pages, right?
Yeah, Just Turn Pages. That's her name on TikTok.
Okay, and before we go, so I have a book that will be available tomorrow it's free. Snow White and the Seven Hustlers, Part 1.
Wait, what?
Snow White and the Seven Hustlers.
Girl, let me write this down.
So yeah, so Part 1 will be free. It's the series completed, but tomorrow.
Where's it going to be on?
Amazon. Yeah, Amazon.
Snow White and the Seven Hustlers.
Yes. So the Kindle version will be free tomorrow, and y'all gonna like that it takes place in the 90s. It's given New Jack City with a little. Yeah, I love the 90s. I love the 90s. So it's like one of those D-boy 90s books. And y'all know the D-boy books that take place in the 90s is always the lead.
What?
Yeah.
Oh, shit. Okay. So I'm gonna be checking that out. And for anybody that missed it, if you are interested in any of the events for the Boozy Book Tour, it's boozybooktour.square.site. Authors tables are available for every city except for Chicago. That shit sold out quick. But
Virginia sold out.
We still have tables for Virginia. We still have tables for Raleigh. We still have for the Melanin Ball. It's a big event because it's gonna be at a hotel. Okay. So, and that's a 3-day event. So, and that's 3 days in pajamas because it's a pajama jam. It's a house party too. Pajama jam. Yeah.
Hey, where's that at?
Las Vegas.
Shit.
This year we had it in Tulsa, and it was like the 1920s. Everybody dressed like Harlem Nights.
Ooh, I would have had a ball, baby. I would have came up in there like
it was a lot of ass and titties everywhere. That's the air. It was a lot of twerking of the flats.
Y'all would have had a ball. Would have came up in it definitely like Harlem Nights.
it definitely was giving it, and everybody was fucked up.
Okay, so the
Yeah.
one in Virginia, tables and stuff, but I could definitely make that one.
And
Like,
every boozy book tour, when a author purchase their table or a reader purchase a ticket, whether it's VIP if it's VIP, you get dinner. We feed you. It's
okay,
dinner, it's drinks, it's a round table of discussion. It's not like the round table, like a panel. It's like you eating dinner, breaking bread with your family, and we shooting the shit, talking shit, and all that stuff.
okay,
Yeah.
okay. And that's and where do I go at for that site?
It's boozy BOOZY book BOOK tour TOUR.square.site SITE
Boozy.
book
Mm-hmm.
tour
Tour.
TOUR
Okay.
dot square dot site SITE.
Okay.
So readers can get general admission or they can get VIP. Well, you have a list of authors for each location. They are on our Facebook site. On the Facebook page, we have all the authors, but authors are always added daily. So, the flyers might say one thing one day and change the next. And we have highlighted authors for like Vegas and stuff like that.
All right, I'm gonna add my website in the comments for
Yeah,
my
somebody.
city girl and
I got to get my damn hood Gorilla Bill before one of you broads sell out the goddamn shit.
it's crazy because I had pre-orders. I'm still taking pre-orders. Natavia. Let me see. Okay, yeah, this is so you can read Cruella, the ebook version from my website. You can just upload it to your Kindle, like.
Yeah, that's what I did.
Yeah, and like so I be telling people and they be like, how do you do that? And I'm like, yeah, you buy the ebook and then you can send it to your Kindle and read it like a regular Kindle.
Hold on.
Oh yeah, see? Yep. You can read it just like and it's not a PDF, y'all.
No, it's a regular Kindle book.
Yeah. I'm professional.
I'm telling y'all, read this book. Read this
Y'all
book.
gonna love it. Yeah, y'all gonna love it. So it's on my website. City Girl and Love on a Brain is on there as well. And they all standalones and they full length.
Okay. All right. Now I'm finna make me some more drinks. I'll probably get on live like later on because I got work to do. Unfortunately, that's my life now. Since I do this shit full time.
Oh yeah, well congrats on that.
Girl, I don't know if it's congratulations or if I just fucked myself. I don't know.
What?
It seems like I do more work now.
Really?
Yeah. Cause I got the podcast. I'm co-owner of the book tour, and then I have I'm opening a club in Chicago too.
Where at in Chicago?
It's a BDSM club. It's a BDSM club, so it's in a private area.
Okay, yes, I get. So you like that, right?
I told you I'm a dom.
Okay, so like with like a group, like.
No, I'm going to own the club. It's just me.
No, but I'm saying you said you're a dom, so I'm saying like.
I'm a dom in the sense that I am not submissive. I don't submit to people.
Because when you say dom, I'm thinking of.
What?
You know what I'm talking about. You know what I'm talking about. When you say dom.
Nah.
I'm thinking of.
Nah.
You know what I'm thinking of.
Nah.
I don't know with that, but I'm just saying like.
Nah. It's just I am not a submissive. I
Okay, because
like
when you
have
said it the first time, I was like, I'm thinking of another type of dom.
nah. Because what it is I'm opening my club, but people get to experience what my club is gonna be like if they sign up for Denver, because that's like a pop up of what my club is like.
Okay.
For that book signing. So yeah, yes,
This
that.
question. So this is what I wanted to know. Like, so when you a dom, are you like y'all like? Because maybe I'm thinking of something else, but is there like pegging involved?
No, that is findom. That's a kink.
The fuck? What's
That's
it
a kink.
called?
Femdom.
Man, listen.
That's a kink.
I ain't that old to be this old. I don't know shit. That sounds like an anime category.
Oh, we're gonna have to talk one day. If you come to Virginia, we'll talk. And I'll explain it.
Yeah, because I'm like, wait a minute, I need to.
I explain it because I have the club and I'm president of a bike club, so I have a lot going on.
Oh, you busy?
Yeah, I have a lot. Once it seemed like once I left the military, my life just.
Well, at least you're doing what you love to do.
Yeah.
Dominant woman, so yeah, But like I have talked to like a few dominant women, and then they like, I guess it was a different type of dominant. Like I don't know if it's a different type, but they were like pegging. Like I didn't.
There's different types. There's dominatrix. There's financial doms that
You have like doms that's like lesbian, like. Right?
Those not. That's just a stud.
But like we call them doms.
No, for real.
I mean, it's crazy. I got a book called Dom, but I ain't It's about a stud. But that's why I was like, hold on. When you say Dom, like I'm thinking of stud. Cause like.
I'm bisexual, true, but nah.
She's elite to encounter the submissive does. Okay, got it. Yeah, okay, I got it. So, shit, let me be a dom then. Fuck it. Let me be a dom, okay?
Some people are doms 24/7. They let that personality out all the time, and then some people just do it certain times. I do it certain times. I don't have to do it 24/7 because I ain't no point in me doing it 24/7 for me.
Yeah, I'm gonna try it.
She's talking about I'm gonna try it.
I'm curious now. I'm dog curious. I'm dog curious. I gotta try this shit because I feel like I don't know. I feel like I've been missing out, y'all. I'm about to go to the club. Because I need to. I'm a nosy. I'm a nosy motherfucker. I need to.
Oh man, I'm hollering, bruh.
I need to be in the mix.
I don't want to hear shit. Well, Storm said it got me up in this motherfucker. I want to hear nothing.
Look, I don't write them things for nothing.
Oh, Jesus. But for real, I do hope to see you in Virginia and have a good time, have a drink with you, sit down and talk about this particular subject. But, and what a night. But
I'm like, now I'm dumb curious now, like,
oh my God.
I'm curious because like I thought it was like I said, like my first time, like really, was the 50 Shades of, and I hated it, like the way
that's not us.
I know, but I don't. That spanking shit, baby. You spank me.
But wait, that's impact. Okay, that's impact play. But that ain't.
It's too many codes.
It's not the way. It's so much. It's not what they did.
Right, I get it.
It's totally different because honestly, okay, I'm gonna say this. I am not trying to offend anybody or make anybody feel uncomfortable when I'm saying this, but y'all who be coming on my interviews should know by now how the fuck I am. I was real mild today with Natavia, she got the mild version of it.
Why?
Because we didn't get into like the question when I typed up your questions. I didn't really type up anything sexual in your shit. So
Why?
I don't even know why. I was so curious about everything else. I ain't even write anything about the damn sex shit.
I feel cheated. I'm offended.
I'm dead ass. This was the mild. but I'm gonna say this. You do when you write your characters and when you fucking put them in them situations of sex, you damn near put them in dom submissive situations, because the way he can look at her or how she looks at him makes them stand still, make that person dick hard, make her meow meow wet. That's some active dom type shit, straight up. So if I'm in a situation, my submissive will automatically get turned on by me fucking saying certain things or acting a certain type of way or a lower register of my voice. They will get turned on. And as far as impact play is, shit, a bitch or a nigga will squirt. And I ain't look, I ain't got no shame in my motherfucking game. I'm a powerhouse. I know. That's why my husband loved the fuck out of me.
Oh, you
I'm just saying. And that's why he loves me down, because I know what I do. But nah, I'm just saying, even when I was out doing that, I know the pleasure that a person can get. Even when they say, oh, I have never. I bet you can. I bet you I can. I don't care if it's male or female. You going to get this work. And that's how you write your characters. I'm just saying, I'm being realistic. Y'all know me. Y'all know me so fucking well. This is how I am usually.
See, I feel cheated, y'all. Because, first of all, not give me the mild, baby. I like spice. I'm a spicy
I was trying to, because this is your first time meeting me. I was like, oh, I'm gonna get her warmed up and see how she feeling. But this is me. See, if you came on the internet, you would have known this is how I am.
I be on the internet. I just don't like, I always tell people I'm like I come in, I dip out, like.
Because if you would have peekabooed into one of my lives, you would have known.
But see, like the way, okay, that's true, but yeah. But you know the type of writer I am, like. I just feel cheated because I'm like.
We can do it again after Arlington. We can come back. We'll spin the block. We'll do it like that. We'll spin the block. After you meet me in person, we'll spin the block.
Okay. I was like, because where's the...
Because I do be wild. I do be wild in some of these damn interviews.
When I first got on here, you was like, I don't have no cut cards. And I'm like, well, shit, I don't either. But I got to wait for you to pop off first. And
I try to feel y'all out. And if y'all give me the mild, I'm going to be like, cool. I'm going to keep it mild.
I be going live, too. But I go live on Facebook and stuff. I be off the chain. Like,
Jess just came in here. Jess is the one that doesn't spray edges.
Okay.
Jess, Natavia is going to get in contact with you about spraying them.
Yes, because I want my book Ebony to have gold trimming on the outside.
Ooh, that shit gonna look.
It is, because it's gold, and I want her wings to have like the gold, like with the gold foil type of thing.
Oh, that's gonna be big.
It's gonna be beautiful.
Oh my god! Damn! Take all my money. Shit, fuck it. Damn. Okay.
It's so pretty, but yeah. So
we're gonna spin the block.
We're gonna spin the block, and we're gonna do some spice because. Y'all gotta make sure I'm gonna have my Grandma Yay.
Cause you know what, TikTok used to let me, pass a treat every now and again on here when I was doing,
like,
you know. They used to let me do it like 2 years ago,
right.
but then they cracked down on it, so I can't do it because I used to be on here with that drinking. It's just
Look, just like me. Normally, have my grandma gay. I turn into a hood nigga when I'm a whole YN when I just
right.
grandma gay.
You ain't said nothing but a word.
I don't know what's gonna come out my mouth.
Hey, you ain't said nothing but a word. All I gotta get is the go ahead. Okay, bet. We gonna
turn into a dom. I ain't talking about. I'm talking about with the strap.
What? Come on.
Oh, I get the whole strap.
Yo.
Yes,
she is wild.
I'm telling you, motherfucking dom with the strap. Okay, get the strap.
Oh man, she wild. Okay, we gonna spin the block, and I'm gonna come straight out the gate on some real nigga shit.
Yeah,
For real
nigga shit. Why in to why in?
Bet. That's all I needed to know. that is Chastity, yo nasty ass. Talking about print poking. Y'all wild. But bet we gonna do it after Arlington. We gonna get back on here on a Saturday, and we just gonna come early, get your drinking shit, and we gonna come with the shits.
Y'all get y'all drinks, okay? I'm gonna have my grandma yay. Shit, I might come on this bitch with a do-rag.
Not a do-rag.
I come on with a do-rag and some Tums. Like what a thick joint say?
Yo, bruh, this is about to be wild.
Yeah. Nice talking to y'all. I put my information down. So holla at your girl.
All right. So talk to you later, and make sure you fill out that author form for Arlington.